Hi, everyone, and once again, good evening and welcome. So, tonight's call, we open this up for basically everyone. So, whether you have a free book, whether you have the full book, whether you have, doesn't matter which product of us that you are having, or in our free groups. So we open this up. The reason for that is basically just to because what's about to happen in the upcoming weeks and months, it's gonna draw a lot of people's eyes to our industry, and I wanted everyone to actually be prepared for this. So obviously, depending on where you are, in terms of which product you have of us, will depend on how far we will be able to actually go on this journey. So I asked you guys first a couple of questions. Let me just get them. Okay, so I actually allowed you guys to ask questions based on tonight's call. I could see from the questions that some of you have been here for a while. Some of you just basically got into this industry, and some of you don't know anything. So I got like 30 questions, but we could round them up to 6 questions because the people asked basically the same thing over and over. So just to get an idea of who are actually here. So if you are a V2 member, please comment V2. If you are a V1 member, comment V1. If you are a beginner, just comment B. In terms of if you have the beginner's course, comment B. If you have the full book, just comment full book. And then if you have the free book, comment free book. So, and if you don't have any of those, then just comment a 5, then we will obviously know. So I want to make it worthwhile for everyone here. You guys can comment. You guys can comment. I can see the comments coming in. Okay, so to those of you who have been here with us for a while, there are certain things that's happening in the market that is actually going to speed up things going forward from now. So because I waited for this one event, and two actually another one happened after that, and when that event happened, I called this meeting, and I thought, you know what, why not open this to everyone, because so everyone have an inside view of what we are actually doing. So for those of you who don't know me, Lucian Godfrey is the name, and I'm the founder of NFT Millennial Secret. So hopefully by now you have read at least my Facebook, or you have gone on our website and see what we are about. So the questions that I actually got, I'm first going to cover the questions that I got, and then number 2, I'm going to cover what I actually saw in the market, what is actually about to happen, what I'm expecting to happen, and then I will share basically the plan that I have for how I'm going to leverage what's actually going to happen, and then basically share the strategy that we will actually be implementing. So now, for those of you who are part of NMS Travel, this business model, remember when we partnered with them, with AutosGo, we recently partnered with them, but we've been in this in the crypto industry for a number of years. So this has nothing to do with travel. That's a different product. So, okay, number 1, the first question someone asked, what is a bull run? Now I'm going to share my screen. In my experience, I've noticed that people actually understand better when they see a graph. So everything happens in cycles, guys. So we would basically I know the hot topic now is eggs and potatoes. I don't want to basically compare this to a bull run, but it's basically a price spike due to certain events, whether it's the millions of chickens that died, or whether it's drought, or all of the water that spilled all the potatoes away. Now it's expensive, but there's what we can get from it is the fact that there's a less supply and the demand is high. So as a result, the value of it goes up. Now, a bull run is basically in crypto or in any market when it tends to go up in value. So let's say here potatoes was 10 rand and now it's 180 rand. So this is basically certain events leads to this. People think these things just happen. No, they don't just happen. And the two things that I actually saw in the market, that is the result of why I think that we are basically in the starting phase of the bull run, not full on, but you don't want to actually be learning your skill when it is actually the bull run, because then things are happening too fast. And if you are not gonna be prepared, then you might basically miss what's going to happen. So when I experienced two bull runs, so we have a bull run, BR, and then we have a bear market when the value tends to go down. Then we have a bear market. Now, most people who get into our industry, even myself, when I got into this industry back in 2016, I didn't understand it. And as a result, I would buy things at the wrong time. So let's say I buy something here when it is right at the top. Even though it's something good, like for instance, Bitcoin, and when it goes from, it went, at one point it went to 100,000, but then it obviously also came down. So let's say I bought it at 100,000, but then it comes to 10,000 each. It's not the fact that it's actually a bad investment, but I bought it at the wrong time. If that makes sense to you, please put a 2 in the comments. So it's important that you understand the cycles. This is a bull market. This is a bear market. So a bear market is basically when the supply is more than the demand and the value tends to go down in value. So even if I bought here for 100K's worth and it's worth 10,000 rand here, that is because of the bear market, not because I bought into a scam or whatever. But at the end of the day, I must understand that everything happens in cycles. Now, I'm going to share here what actually what causes a bull market and then what causes a bear market. So obviously, everything comes down to supply and demand, and obviously in terms of the mindset of the market. So something that important happened in the market last week. We noticed that 95% of people have not moved their Bitcoin for the last month. Now, whether you are in NFTs, whether you are Cardano fan, whether you are Ethereum fan, whether it doesn't matter which cryptocurrency, but at the end of the day, they all follow Bitcoin. So Bitcoin determines when it is a bull market and it's a bear market. If Bitcoin tends to go up double, then we see the altcoins go up, for instance, 5 times in terms of value, etc. But it's important to actually, even though you maybe don't hold Bitcoin, but even if it's different currencies, but Bitcoin determines the bull and the bear market. So that is basically the bull run. So someone asked here about the halving. So I was going to answer it here, but I'm going to leave it for when I actually get there. So then secondly, how do I identify good projects from bad projects? Now, if you've watched my free training, now this could be a member, this could actually be someone who's not a member as yet. But if you're a member, so what happens is when you become a member, we obviously have a WhatsApp group where I share certain projects. But in the training, I also share the TRD method. So in there, I obviously show what I look for before I actually invest into projects. So I use that method to identify 10 NFT projects, to identify 10 coins, and those are actually the ones who brought us the results that they brought in different time frames. Some take weeks, some take days, some take months. So we look at a legitimate business because I need you to understand that every NFT, every coin, it represents a business, or they are solving a problem at a profit. So if they are actually not solving a good problem, a problem that many of us face, which will cause demand, which the D stands for, then chances are that it's not going to be adopted. And with no adoption is basically demand. So we remember in the beginning we said everything comes down to supply and demand. So we look at the TRD method. So you can obviously learn more about the strategy, because the strategy is the strategy that is responsible for the results that both myself and those of us as members obviously got up until now, and what we are going to use going forward. So you can obviously go to our website, nftmillionairesecret.com, download the Facebook and then read more about it. If you want to see the video format of it, where I share the secret, nftmillionairesecret.com/the secret. So I don't want to stagnate too long on questions. So there are videos to answer that. Which website shows the green and red market? Okay, so let me share the I hope I'm going to answer this person's question correctly. I would like to. So there are different websites that you can actually keep track of. Hoe maak ik dit dan groter? Enter full screen. Okay. So one that most people are familiar with is actually CoinGecko. This is where you can track whether, if it's green, obviously it went up over that hour, over 24 hours, over 7 days. But for a more practical view, this is where you can check. So you can determine on this website, write down this website, cryptobubbles.net. This is the website that you can check per hour, how they performed, per day, how they performed. You can see today this coin went up 7%. Today this coin went up 3%. Today this coin lost 9% of its value. For the week, this coin went up 23%. This coin lost 8.9%. Month, etc. Year to date, you can see this coin went up 1,700%. So cryptobubbles.net, this is the website. So this is answering question number 3, which coins to purchase in preparation for the bull run. Okay, so those of you as members, so you know which website I load all of the coins that I'm actually buying. So using the TRD method, you can actually determine which coins you actually want to get into. So the first 10 obviously is the for that I believe that is going to do more than 10x and more, and then the bottom ones are that I believe that will obviously do between 3 and 5x in terms of value. So another person said, you know what, I know about those tokens, but just show me more tokens. Now, I know of certain tokens that I'm holding in that list where I'm holding over 1 million. Now, I'm not looking to have a Warren Buffett said something. Remember, Warren Buffett is known for being the best trader over time. But in terms of the wealth that he's made, that's why he's one of the 10 richest people in the world. So he says that if you you don't want to be sitting with a zoo in terms of you have a whole lot of coins. So I believe that that is enough coins, not that there aren't any going to be added, but as the narratives comes up during the course of the bull run, we will get into a lot of other coins, but those ones I believe is more than enough for now. because at the end of the day, I always also say this: don't want to be entertained in terms of how many different ones you can actually get into. Even when it comes to trading, I trade stuff that I know. So why would you want to get more new ones on a daily basis when you're not even holding 100,000 rands worth of each of those? So it doesn't make sense to me. So obviously, if you do want more, then obviously use what you can do is go into the training, watch the video on the TRD method, and then you can use that method and go and identify different projects. I'm not saying that there aren't any, and I'm not going to add more over the coming weeks, but we must have that mindset in terms of we shouldn't have that mindset of wanting a new token every other day, because at the end of the day, they still need to prove themselves. So at the end of the day, why not stick with what's working? So number 4, okay, so number 5, how quick should we buy and sell when the time comes? Okay, so there are different projects and different time frames. So I know that people see the testimonials and they see what people have been achieving, but depending on what your goal is. So I'm going to cover this last. So I'm going to share a few slides with you. So I want you to realize that this bull hunt, the reason why I got into this industry was because I actually wanted to get out of my job that I used to work 16 hours per day. And I wanted the results, and I wanted the results quick. Now, when it comes to building wealth, the method that we teach is, yes, we are going to cover day trading a lot going forward, but the method that we teach is building wealth over time. So if you are looking to make money quick, then this is not the right industry. Because the reason why I say this is there will be those who will show you this is how you will make quick money. And that is exactly the ones that you are actually going to lose your money most of the time. So if you're looking to make quick money, this is not for you. So, but if you're looking to build a portfolio over time, because as you can see, I showed the capital bubbles, like the market goes up like 15% on a normal day when there's good news, especially in the bull run. If you have taken the time to build a portfolio over time and you build a large portfolio and it's in the millions, when the market goes up, even if it's just 1 million, if your market goes up 15%, you've just made 150,000 rand. So a lot of people say, you know what, I don't have a lot of money, so I want more risk. Yes, there are ones with a lot of with more risk, but you don't want to be playing with all of your funds in high risk things, and you don't necessarily want. Some of the projects give us returns quickly, but that is not our expectation. So if that is 100% your expectation, you just want to make money and make it fast, then, like I'm going to say it for the third time, then this is not for you, because this is actually where you will actually burn your fingers and you will start thinking that cryptocurrency is a scam, and that is actually not a scam. It's your mindset basically that is the scam, because all of these tokens, they represent businesses, and businesses needs time to obviously make money. We have a token, our own personal token. Over the last, let's say, 2 months, it's very close to 500,000 that I actually bought people out just to prepare for what's actually coming, because I know that a lot of people, even though it was made clear to them that this is something that you want to hold for 6 to 18 months, a lot of people wanted to make quick money, and as a result, they're not getting that. Obviously, if you got into the private sale, then you are constantly, you've always been up. But at the end of the day, it's not something that will have its best days within the first few months, because it needs time. So explain the halving. Now, this comes once again back to why I believe that we are actually at the brink of it. Where's Chrome now? Okay, so I think I missed this. Let me just share my screen quickly. Okay. Explain the halving. Next Bitcoin halving. Now, guys, when I got into cryptocurrency, let me share here. Should I share here? Yeah. Trading view. I got into cryptocurrency in 2016, and 2017 was the next bull run. So let me just see the years here. Let's change this into months. Okay, Binance the next. Let's see. I should have used an exchange that has been here for a while. Might as well just use CoinGecko. Okay, Max. So when I got into cryptocurrency, it was around about here. It was just before this bull run. So what's happening now is actually what happened here and what happened here. So that signals to me that we are at the brink of actually having that exponential growth again. And you don't want to be actually taking time then, because those who are not prepared will see all of the testimonials on the internet, and they will get into everything that's that sounds nice, this coin that you can buy or this NFT that you can buy. And if you are not educated in terms of what I'm going to teach here, you may just lose your money. Yeah. So the halving works as follows. Should I? Okay. Every 4 years, the block rewards, let me say, every 4 years, the rewards or the amount of Bitcoins that comes into existence, it gets cut into half. Now, when Bitcoin started in 2009, every 10 minutes, there came 50 Bitcoins into existence. So those who were mining it then, every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoins was split between everyone who mined it globally. And then the first halving happened in 2013, which means they every 10 minutes, 25 Bitcoins came into existence. The second halving in 2017, then 12.5 Bitcoins came into existence every 10 minutes. And then the halving in 2020, when we saw this happening, after the halving, we saw that less Bitcoins came into existence, 6.25 Bitcoins came into existence. And as a result, that is obviously the supply getting less. And then we see, obviously, as more people get into cryptocurrency, the value goes up because the demand is higher. So now the next halving is coming. I know the page that you actually deleted. It is the countdown to the halving. Next Bitcoin halving. But okay, so yeah, let me just bring that up quickly. There's website Bitcoin halving countdown. So I had this up, but yeah, they mistakenly yeah. So you would see it's around about 189 days to the next halving. So on the site, you can obviously read more and understand so here you can see in the blue, you can see that is when it halves, the rewards halve, and as a result, it then obviously goes up in value because the demand is the same. If that is clear to you, put a 3 in the comments what the halving actually is. I know to most of you here, that's common sense because you've been here for a while, but let's just bear with those who are obviously new. Okay, so that is basically the halving. Okay. Now, let me just, before I get to, it's just five or so slides, guys. So just recap, this is the website that you can visually check the coins and how they perform. This is basically a sketch or basically the last halvings and how they happen. Now, if you are on a phone, you might not be able to see so clearly, but if you're on a laptop or computer, then you can see clearly. I don't know, signing for Casey now and the screen. Okay, my wife says it's clear on the phone as well. So here you can see a year before the halving, it still increased in value from the year before up until there. So we are less than a year away from the halving. You can see what happens after the halving, how it goes exponentially. And then after the halving, then obviously we would have a bear market. So this we would call a bull market, and then this we would call a bear market. From here we would call this a bull market and then a bear market. So here you can see what happened the year before the halving once again. Here it happened once again. So when I saw that 95% of people are actually holding on to their Bitcoin, which means there is a less supply that is actually coming into the market. So remember, those who are mining Bitcoins, those are the people that are getting most of the coins on a daily basis. But now these big companies, they are holding on to their Bitcoins. 95% of the Bitcoins did not move the last month. So as a result, supply is getting less and less. And as more people are going to buy, the value is going to go up. It's the same thing happening to eggs. Same thing happening to potatoes. It's the same thing happening to anything. If there's a demand, lesser demand, and the less supply and the demand stays the same, the value goes up. If the supply is less and the demand grows, we'll see the price actually also following that. So there are obviously a lot of people that are going to, in this bull hunt, they are going to make a lot of money, but there will be more people that will actually be losing. Why do I say this? Most people won't put in the time to actually learn what they are doing. And I'm going to share on here what we follow and how you can actually safely participate in this industry and what we will be doing. So every Tuesday night, we will be having these calls. So obviously, for those of you who don't have any of our products, you are here tonight. I'm going to share some valuable info. Next week, only those who have my full book and the other products, they will obviously be on that Zoom call. And then after 2 weeks, it would only be the beginners and then the V1 and the V2 members. And then once we have brought everyone in terms of where you are finding yourself. So V1 people would obviously also get into the trading, etc. V2 people is where we will go a bit further, which I will explain here now, how far we'll actually go. So let me just share my screen once again. Google. So like I'm saying, a lot of people will be making money and a lot of money in the next bull hunt, but more people will actually be losing. Why? Because they won't be knowing what they're actually doing. And yeah, it's important that you actually learn and understand what you're doing. So people would, for instance, see projects like this. Those of you who have been following me, even if you don't have my products, you know that I promoted and I shared people, guys, get this NFTs because they are going to increase in value based on what they are doing, based on the TRD method. They went from 400 bucks to over 4,000 rand. Now they're over 5,000 rand, etc. So just think, if you bought 100,000 rands worth of stuff, it is 400 rand and it goes to 4,000, it's basically over $1 million. So, and it's, yeah, so people see a testimonial like this, NFT, blah, blah, blah. This person made so much money. And then at the end, they say, you missed that one, so buy this one. This is the next one, not knowing that that is potentially a scam. So, but if you know what you are actually doing and what we are looking for, then you won't fall for that. Because like I say, in the bull hunt, a lot of testimonials, the internet is full of people making a whole lot of money, and then people wanting to get rich quick come in, and that is where they burn their fingers. So I've also been there, wanted to make money quick, but that just almost never works. So next week we are going to start implementing what I'm about to share here. So those of you who have the full book, beginners, V1, V2, we will obviously get started on this now. When you trade, not everyone is here for trading. Remember, I know a lot of you just want to invest and come back like with this NFTs. We bought those, left it after a few months, year, and then it did its thing. I have a lot of people that buy and then come back after basically a couple of months or a year. But when it comes to trading, those who want to invest the time to trade, so will be basically every person won't necessarily have the same trading method or have the same tools that they are using, but you are going to carve and what works for you, the projects that you like, and you will actually become like the master in trading that specific coin. The different time frames will determine which ones you actually get into, but that is what we are going to get into at the later stage. So I always say that starting to trade in the round of 2000, don't want to have more. I know some of you have a lot more money than that, but when you are learning to trade, that is not the time to make money. That is the time to learn the skill. It's not the time to make money. So once you obviously learn the skill and then you are obviously going to add to your portfolio, then you can trade with more money or add to your capital. So now this is in a perfect world now, and we are not living in a perfect world, guys. So please understand. So if you trade with 2% and you are able, so you trade with 2,000 Rand, we can always change this to, let's say you start with 4,000. But like I say, just to be safe, it's always best to start off with a small amount. Let's say with 2,000. So on here, you will be able to add in what your actual results is, what what's happening in the market, and how to keep track of your portfolio. So as we proceed every week on Tuesday, we will obviously go a step further, step further, step further. So I started with the bare basics here, and I know I frustrated a lot of you that is long past this. You know most of the stuff that I shared here, but the two things that I know that makes it valuable for you is the fact that Bitcoin hasn't moved. The miners are holding on to it. And then the second thing is what happened in 2016 before the exponential growth. And then remember the last one was in COVID. So then everyone started printing too much money. And then we obviously saw a black swan event. I know black swan is basically where it's out of our control, etc. But these things, I believe that they are planned. So what happened in COVID? Bitcoin did this, and everyone thought it's the end of it. And that was the last shakeout. And from there, it went from $3,000 up to $60,000. So it's happening now again. But let's just stick here just for 1 minute. We're going to close in the next 5 minutes, hopefully. So let's say you start trading with 2,000 and you only you will start learning the skill of trading. So let's say you grow your capital by 1% on a daily basis. Now nobody trades 7 days a week. Like I said, this is in a perfect world if you only make 1% on a daily basis growth. So but nobody trades like 7 days a week. But let's just say you trade 7 days a week and you make 1% per day. Your 2,000 within 6 months, it's 180. Then it's like 11K. That's if you make 1% per day. But like I say, when you are learning, you are not necessarily going to just make money. You are going to lessons are actually made out of mistakes. You learn more when you're making mistakes. So some days you're going to make more than 1%, some less than 1%. But let's say in a perfect world, you make 1% on a daily basis every day for 365 days, your 2,000 goes to 70,000. But like I say, sometimes you're going to make a loss, but there is something called the stop loss where you determine what is the most that you can actually lose. So if you're trading with 2,000 Rand and your stop loss is 1%, then the most that you can actually lose is 20 rand, which shouldn't harm anyone that is actually trading with it. So you don't have to be worried when obviously going to a trade. And as you basically develop your skill, you will start positioning yourself to make 2% and then 3, and then this is where it gets a bit scary. So not scary in terms of stay away, but when you make 3%, there's a lot of trades that I make more than 3%, but it's not necessarily my expectation when I obviously get into them. So this is in terms of day trading. Now, due to the market conditions, I've done a lot of swing trading in terms. So many of you saw the trades, some of the trades as a potential to bring us 7 million, some 600,000, some 4 million, etc. So those are swing trades. Those takes time to play out. But I'm referring, these ones are basically day trading where it is a bit more time invested. So let me see if I covered everything on here. Okay, now guys, what's happening currently? So we saw COVID happening. It seemed as if it is out of everyone's hand, but was it? No one, up until now, there's so many conspiracy theories, but likewise, we are seeing what's actually happening currently in Israel. So we tend to see that the market gets shaken just before it's basically shaking out the weekend. So we may see, even though cryptocurrency is quite low at this point of time, we may even see a 50% dip. Is it going to happen for sure? I cannot say that, but even if it happens, I'll still be happy. But that won't stop me from actually getting into good projects now, because if it happens, I'll be able to buy more. In terms of DCA, if you don't know what that means, there is basically a video on our website, nftmillionaireseeker.com/DCA, where it explains it. You can go and learn that. But if it is not going to have that last shakeout, then I'll still be happy, because I'm already investing into projects that I want to hold for the next 6 to 12 months. So if the war gets worse, what's happening in Israel now, it may shake the financial markets and it will spill over to the crypto market. But at the end of the day, due to the fact that no more new cryptocurrency can be printed, or more due to a certain pandemic or war, the supply stays the same, and as a result, as the demand increases, we see that it obviously increases exponentially. So now what America normally does is, when there's basically, like with COVID, like with this war, they would obviously get themselves involved and get a reason why they can print more money. So currently there's more than 1 trillion. There's actually around about 1 trillion coming into existence on a monthly basis. This is more debt than we ever actually created. And as a result, the money is just losing value. And due to that, because cryptocurrency is getting scarce, with the bull market also approaching, so now we won't have 6.25 Bitcoins coming into existence every 10 minutes. We will have 3.1125. So we can obviously see how less and less cryptocurrencies coming into existence. Now, I don't want to scare you, but this is basically the last website I'll show. Let's say the South, if the South African debt clock. So most people don't know what this is, or the fact, or why we should actually register our children when they get born. But when we register them, automatically they have, and that is why you can almost go to jail if you don't register your kid when they are born. As soon as they are born, they have a debt of 48,000 rand. as a baby already, and the more basically people or South Africans born, the more money our government can obviously borrow, because we are their collateral. So we are currently paying 5,200 rand interest per second, and that is why you will actually see that our currency keeps being devaluated. Why? Because we are paying so much interest, and that why we our government is actually there. It's almost like they are encouraging people to have more kids so they can borrow more money, and it's almost like they're incentivizing them by giving them these grants, etc. I'm not saying they shouldn't get that, but that is not what solves the problem. The US is even worse. If we go and look at their debt clock, but I don't want to keep you here for over an hour. So let me quickly share now what is our game plan that we are going to be implementing. So this is the exact plan that let me just quickly. That got me from where I found myself to where I am today. So when I got started, that was back in 2016. And if I look back now, I basically didn't have a plan. I was basically lost. I had to go on my old Facebook to go and find this photo. This is the last time you will most probably see this photo, but this is the exact plan that took me from here. My wife is laughing here, to where I am today. So I'm not sure where you are finding yourself. But when I was here, I was clueless. And it's just a proven plan that will actually I see comments coming in there. I don't even want to look at the comments. It may just be one of our members that is making fun of myself. But yeah, but this is the exact plan that got me from being totally confused and blaming government, blaming my boss for not giving me a raise, all of the everyone external that I just blamed instead of blaming myself. But I had to actually learn what I know now, what I'm sharing with you guys, and what we'll be covering every week, every Tuesday. That actually got me to here. So you need to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, then you won't know what you want. When I speak to people, I ask them, what is your income goal for the next 12 months? And they say, I want to make a lot of money. A lot of money is not a number. That is not a goal. If you can't shoot the target, but you can't see the target, you must have a specific goal. Even if you like, to me, it was just to be able to make it extra 10,000 rand a month. That is at least a goal. Then we can work out the plan on how to get there. But if you get into your car and you don't know where you want to go, you just want to have fun, you'll just end up with an empty tank. So you need to have a specific goal. People come into this industry and want to make money, but they don't have money to get started with. So it's important that you actually realize, you know what, there's nothing for free in this world. Yeah, I don't want to still make, but just yeah, I'll just stop there. There's nothing for free. So you will need to have money in order to make money. Some people ask you, but why do I need to have money in order to make money? So you need to earn it. So what we do is we basically find methods on how to multiply what we have already. So if you have 0, multiply by even 10,000, it will still be 0. So obviously, when I got started, I only had like 1,000 rand. So, but at the end of the day, I had to start somewhere. Obviously, others start off higher depending on where they are. Then I'm going to explain what an exchange is, because what's happening now, I don't know how far this war is going to go, but things can get ugly. And at the end of the day, these are things that we basically know, especially those of you who are Christian, know that when it comes to Israel and Palestine, they've had war since the beginning, and it will be like that up until when Christ returns. But at the end of the day, it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and our currencies might just do this. And as a result, if you're like, this is why I don't hold a lot of money in my bank or on an exchange, because this is still a third party. A lot of you think that Luno is a scam because someone told you to send money to Luno and they got access to your Luno, and as a result, they got access to your money. So Luno is a legitimate company, but they are an exchange. So I'm going to explain how you will use an exchange, but what is a wallet? Because you need to actually have a wallet, because in a wallet, that is where you alone have access to your money. No government, no bank, no third party, no nothing. But you'll need to be able to learn how to take your money and send it to an exchange via certain tokens or coins, and then send it to your wallet and then purchase coins or NFTs. Please learn that process. So you are the only one who's actually working with your money and not a third party. So laat ek gou die gesigte weghalen so I can see. Then you need to have an exit strategy. Guys, the bull run is going to go past. If you don't have a clear goal or a plan, you won't know when to get out, because it will seem to you that everything will forever just go up, and it will constantly go up, and it will seem to you that it's just going to go up and up and up and up and up. And up until when it actually starts going down, you will still hold and you will lose all the money that you've made whilst it went up. So you need to have a exit strategy. I know that greed will kick in, but if you come in with a plan already, this is the goal that I want to achieve. And once you get to that goal, you will know when to get out. Guys, we do not have much time left. This is basically, this is the bare basics. I don't think I'll ever cover that anymore, but I will make this recording available. But obviously, those of you who only have the free book or have none of our products, you can obviously get the full book if you want to be part of next week's call. And then next week, we will obviously go more into which exchanges we use and how to actually purchase these coins and how to be in control of your own funds. I'm going to entertain one or two questions, and we'll call it the day. Since Nathan and Cedric is laughing at my pic. Just say world debt clock and the currency IBM bin. So you'll see the US is even worse. Yeah. So doesn't look like there are any questions, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this video will be made available on our website. In fact, it will be at nftmillionairesecret.com coaching call 1. That is the website. We'll be able to get it in the next 2 hours. I will upload it and then you'll find it on that website. For now, that website doesn't exist. I will go and do it. But by the time you watch this recording, that website will exist. Thank you so much, everyone. And have a fantastic rest of your evening. So my wife says someone is asking, so do you do your own trading? Yes, everyone does their own trading. Oh, how to purchase the book. So what you can do is you can go to nftmillionairesecret.com/full book. Let me just I'm sending it in the chats there. Copy. And then I'll just share my screen and then put it on there so everyone can see it. Yeah, everyone does their own trading. Yeah, you don't want to be working with other people's money. nftmillionairesecret.com/full book. That is where you can get my full book. You'll also get the bonus training in there. And then those of you who have the full book already, the link is already ready. So you guys are going to get the link for next week and Tuesday, and then we'll take it from there and then start our basically working on our trading strategy that we'll be using going forward. Thank you. Fantastic. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.